so we back live?
Back live.
Okay. So the board will agree to carry in a cap of 8 personal days. Okay. We're all right with that. And just to, I guess, so you're aware, we're not likely to agree to any of the other article changes in the master agreement. It's not that we disagree with the content, it's that we don't think they belong in the master agreement.
So we would disagree with that, and we would like to talk about them, at least explain our position and try to change your mind.
Okay.
So I guess the first one then is Article 4, and I'll explain kind of the background on this. For the first part, lines 10 through 17, that our colleagues at the elementary school expressed concern about having to stay late to do training or to do other things, and so that's the origin of this piece. Looking at compensation for a time that goes beyond is what the reason there was.
Can you elaborate?
Not really. Maybe Eric can. I'm sorry. This is something I feel like I'm a little bit at a loss for because it doesn't occur at our building.
Yeah,
We've been very flexible here about where to do stuff. But
so I was contacted by employees that they were curious. They did not like the 8 to 4 contract hours, which we thought was, when we got the master agreement, was how it was across the board. And they wanted to do something different, and I was pointed to Deary, who has 3 options for contract hours and the time period, a length of basically right here. I stole this language from Deary. Basically.
That's fine. Like the time thing, like we know we have teachers that go early and leave earlier, and we've always been flexible with that. But what about the training thing that you were talking about?
The comment that I got is, we don't mind volunteering, but we've been asked to volunteer too much. And so we want to be compensated for it.
Is this like an evening type thing?
Evenings, trainings, that kind of stuff.
May I ask, is this like Leader in Me trainings or
it was not specified.
because they're compensated under Leader in Me and...
It was not specified.
Okay.
and I think my gathering is that it had more to do with things like those computer trainings that we've done with Dan, that they haven't had time in the day to finish those, so they've had to finish those outside of hours.
Yeah.
I think that's more to the point.
I would agree with that sentiment. That was a big thing. So they have to do these computer trainings, the bullying, and was the other one, suicide, and they didn't have time in their workday to do it. And so that could be alleviated by scheduling those on days, PD days.
Yeah, we can alleviate that. That's not a problem.
Okay.
That's an easy fix.
So
sorry, yeah. So 10 through 17 or 18.
yeah. So the next one, I know what you guys are going to say. It's redundant. So the lines 24 through 78. These are an effort to make sure that everybody gets into the advanced professional realm.
Has the opportunity.
Has the opportunity. It's a way to help make sure that more people have the more opportunity to get that AP rung, which is going to bring a lot of money into our district.
Well, and I think more to the point is that this ensures timeliness, which hasn't been a problem with this administration.
Yes. Was before.
But it was before. And I think that the part of the, at least on my end, and I understand that it's redundant in the sense that this language already exists within Idaho Code. It already is something that's being done. But I think that the timeliness issue is somewhat important. And like I said, I don't think Mr. Kirkland's always done these in a very timely fashion, and this has nothing to do with him, it's not a reflection on him. And it's more an issue of previous admin.
And potential for next admin.
Yeah.
So that's the reason for that, because A, to get more people on the AP run, which brings more money, more state money into our district and reduces the burden of, on our patrons. The next one is to make sure that it's done right by following subsequent administrations in a timely, fair manner. That's the reason for this one.
Which is already in Idaho code and everything, and yeah, I mean, we obviously, administration tries to get as many people up there as they can, because, like you said, he brings in more money.
Like a lot more money,
Yeah.
at least 1,500 a person.
One of the things that I told the board is that when it comes to like moving teachers on the career ladder, like we all want to do it. It's in everybody's best interest. And so, for example, you know, we had a teacher this year that, like Dory and I had to rack our brains to come up with a way to move them to the next rung, and we did it. And we feel good about it, like we were in the letter of the law. And so it is in everybody's best interest to do that.
Yeah, I get that part.
Yeah, I know. I think that if you look at some of this language, like, let me look and see where I'm looking at here. To qualify, you know, I don't know, to qualify for like what would be considered like a leadership position within the district. So, because we have, and I think I showed you this thing for, like, we have this stuff that we have to submit at the end of each year.
Right.
And we have to check boxes and do different things like that. Like, we're doing everything we can to move people up. Some of these things, like, I mean, it'd be hard pressed to justify this person being in a leadership position because of this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Like, like we know that the district, we know that we've set up the leadership premiums to be basically anyone gets a leadership premium if you want it.
Yeah.
Like, if you look around, like, it's not like that in every district.
No.
I mean, it's limited in some districts. Here, we've made it so everyone can get it if they want it. Anyway, I'm just kind of rambling here, but we both want the same thing.
Yeah, it's like, again, this is not on you, it's just to make sure.
We just don't want to put it in the master agreement.
Yeah, I get that.
Right. I wish there was a way, and this is where it's hard to, like, I wish there was a way to codify something like the expediency of evaluations being done. Like I said, again, not reflecting on
Sure.
Mr. Kirkland, but on our previous
Administrator.
administrator, you know, that didn't do those in a timely manner and didn't do
Or
them.
fair
But-
manner.
You know, I think that part of it too is like, well, maybe, I don't know. I haven't really thought this through, but I mean, as far as like timeliness, those things are in law. It's just a matter of bringing it to people's attention to make sure that it happens. You know what I mean?
The accountability.
Yeah, yeah. Because whether or not this is in the master agreement or not, you guys know that certain things have to happen. And so, you know, regardless, there's avenues for that. We even saw it with the last administration. We had teachers come to board meetings and provide public input. And I don't know if it was about evaluations or not, I can't remember, but
A little bit of both, I think.
but like there is that accountability, I think, but it's just a matter of like being aware of it. And I'm not sure what I'm saying here, but I think that does exist.
I think that's fair. And I think it's a fair point too, that this is redundant in that respect too.
Because I think there is a certain number of days, I think, in code as far as like presenting the evaluation materials to the teachers.
Is that
And
the
then
10
there's-
day?
I don't remember how many days, we just do it at the back to school days, but,
Yeah.
and then the first evaluation has to be done by like January 1st, I think, or something. And then a second one, a summative one, in the spring, but anyway. Like it's almost set up now, to create more accountability, to be honest. And even this year, it increased because of the stuff that you have to submit at the end of the year. Like that didn't exist before. And so now, like if we, at the end of the year, admin have to go into the IC system and submit all of this information for these teachers and basically say, did I do this or not? And then it gets verified by the superintendent and it gets sent to the state. It is different than what it used to be. It used to be, you know, I don't even know if that stuff went anywhere, to be honest.
Yeah. And so this is maybe as a question for that. So with that, with the IPLP stuff and that you're talking about, you know, like I reported when we first got in here, like mine changed. It went from being 80% to 100%.
Yeah.
Do we get to refile if those things change, or?
Yeah, I think you could, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't think it makes any difference because it's still within
That one wouldn't
the
matter.
goal
I
area.
think.
Like it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I think you probably, yeah, you could appeal, because we had that issue with this year with the career ladder, because there was a lot of issues with where people were because of out-of-state people coming in and so forth. So there's an appeal process by a district and like a recommendation process. So maybe somebody doesn't show up, but you can still recommend somebody. So yeah.
Okay. I was just curious. That's not really pertinent.
And I think part of it too, I think like in the back to school meetings, now that, you know, we have that assurance that we have that advanced professional run, I think we just need to, it would be in our best interest to make sure that when we have those back to school meetings and we're talking about evaluations and we're talking about the IPLP and the student growth, that we understand, that teachers know, and I said this last year, but I'm not sure if everybody kind of processed it. We want to make sure that teachers create goals that, you know, are good goals, and they, you know, they're smart goals, but also don't shoot ourselves in the foot. You know what I mean? Don't make your goal unattainable to where you prevent you don't want a good teacher preventing themselves from making it to the advanced professional run, for example.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. But
And
you
so-
don't want the goals to be something that's inherent to what they should be doing anyway, though.
Sure,
right?
sure.
I mean,
I mean the student growth number.
Okay,
The
I see
actual
what you're
number is what I'm talking about.
okay.
That 75% number.
I mean, it seems like the personal goal things, there should be things that,
Yep.
that actually do
Yep.
encourage growth and not just something like you're
Right.
gonna do already.
Right. I think there's a balance there, because you don't want, and we had that this year. We had, and that's one of the things that Dory and I had to work through, is we had a teacher who had really good evaluation marks, but they set their student growth goals the bar so high that it was an issue.
Gotcha.
So, you need to caucus real quick.